Okay, this time we will look into the topic of Bible format conversion, namely the conversion from the verse per line format to Haggai XML. And I've already downloaded the latest release, commit 18 of our software package. I also checked the MD5 checksum. So now in my downloads directory, there is this zip archive. I will extract it to the desktop. And in here you will find the VPL to Haggai 1 program, which comes with this job file. The job file is some kind of configuration file for each individual conversion run. And at the top here there is some metadata which will end up in the resulting Haggai XML file. And very important, this list of Bible book identifiers. The VPL format uses such identifiers to attach each individual verse to the corresponding Bible book. And we define here the exact same identifiers and attach a Bible book number, a long name of the Bible book, and a short name abbreviation of the Bible book to this particular identifier. And those identifiers tell the VPL to Haggai 1 program which identifiers to expect in the input file. And per default here in this standard job file XML, we use the identifiers which are defined as some kind of standard by the Open Scriptures project as the Bible organizational system. You can look those identifiers up on openscriptures.org. On their GitHub repository, Bible Organizational System, and in the directory data files, book names. Here is English traditional definition. And after some loading, here's the list of the unique identifiers which can be used for Bible module comparison, Bible module exchange, and software just as VPL to Haggai 1 to identify Bible books unambiguously. And to demonstrate the program with a particular example, I will use the Believer's English version, which is in preparation by Gospel Fellowships. You can look up their website, gfell.org, and here they have a fellowship finder where you can find house churches all over the world on this map, for example, and also as a list. And they have a free ebook section here, as their works are mostly under in the public domain and also under free licenses, I guess. You can find here some material. They have this principles book here as PDF, EPUB, and as print-on-demand paperback. And they, as I said, they also prepare Believer's English version, Bible version. And I have here in this directory, I opened it twice. I have here this draft verse per line Bible text here, and as you can see, the VPL format uses this identifiers. In this case here it's Genesis, and also continues with Exodus, Leviticus, Numeri, and you will remember that those identifiers don't match the standard identifiers as we have seen them from the Bible organizational system. So we need another job file for this case, but the job file is already provided too by Gospel Fellowships. This is their job file here, and so they define other identifiers here and also have filled in the metadata. We will change the date to the 7th of March, and well, this is the updated job file. And well, it's quite obvious that the verse per line format is quite primitive. It provides no or little encoding for any features in the text. So to upgrade it to convert it to Haggai XML at least provides some XML to it, so it can be read by XML processing tools at least. Of course, this is a semantic problem that upward conversion won't introduce new information or encoding to the text. No additional semantic information, but at least XML tools can then be used, because the VPL format, verse per line format, well, should only be used for text editing, but even then there could be an XML text editor for such cases. So I would consider the VPL format as some kind of legacy format. And we convert the Believers English version to Haggai XML to use our tools to do a conversion to PDF and HTML so far with this text that is provided here. So now I will copy both files to the VPL to Haggai 1 directory, and I will open a new terminal and navigate to this directory here. Okay, and now I can run the program, VPL to. At first I will print out the information about how to call it. And the first file expected is the input VPL file, in this case bev.txt, the job file, and the output file, which then will be Haggai XML. And we have an error here in line 1. In line 1, the Bible book identifier / isn't recognized, isn't specified in the job file, of course, because here the first few lines are this comment here, and those aren't any verses nor Bible book identifiers, so we get rid of them and run the program again. In this case, the line here 27,214 is missing the first number. Okay. What was the number? Here in this case, well, the first number isn't actually missing, but the Bible book identifier is separated by a space from chapter and verse, and the actual verse text is separated by the chapter and verse by another space. So as the line is at the verse 37 is missing, I will just insert the space here, so at least the line can get identified, and the verse will just stay empty. Now we do another conversion attempt, and now the error changed to a warning that the verse text is missing, but here the Haggai XML result file was generated successfully. And as you can see, here is the metadata and also all of the text, and it is semantically encoded in form of XML with Bible book, chapter, verse, and the corresponding numbers, and also the Bible book name and the abbreviation of the Bible book name. And there are still some issues left. For example, if we look into Psalms, the input no, this isn't a good idea. We should try this. The input VPL file used those less than, greater than signs to actually attempt to do some kind of semantic encoding. Unfortunately, the characters used are exactly those used as special characters for the XML format. So in the VPL to Haggai 1 program, there's still missing an escaping of XML special characters. We will fix this if in a future version. And another problem, let's see if we can find an instance in here, is the problem of character encoding. Well, I can't see an instance of it. Maybe it works. Well, we have to check if UTF-8 is also present in the output file. It looks like it. In previous versions, it might have been a problem that UTF-8 support was missing. But well, the goal is to support UTF-8 as it is the default for all of our tools. So the VPL to Haggai 1 program will produce UTF-8 output, or we will introduce it in a future version. Okay, and now of course you can use the other tools to process this Haggai XML file. Theoretically, we could also do an up conversion to OSIS, but in this case we were mainly interested in the PDF generator, so at the moment there's no VPL to OSIS converter, but we could write one, or we could write an Haggai XML to OSIS converter for well, if there is an actual use case. And you don't necessarily have to use our VPL to Haggai 1 converter. The Open Scriptures project provides conversion from VPL to Haggai XML2. I haven't tried it out yet, but I will look into it to improve the support of the conversion. Well, the Haggai XML format, as some variation of the Zefania XML format isn't widely used, so actually there is no real point in supporting conversion from and to Haggai XML, except for using our tools, which are old tools. So in general, we tend to support OSIS in the future, but Haggai XML can still be used as some kind of intermediate format. And also Haggai XML as well as Zefania XML are quite useful for retro digitization and for old books which were actually printed, so they don't have a rich semantic markup for Bible reading programs. So Haggai XML and Zefania XML will do well. And if one wants to print a Bible module, Haggai XML as well as Zefania XML are quite useful because they don't support advanced features which only make sense in the context of a Bible reading software or a website or another project which can make full use of those features, but a printed page in most cases can't. In other cases, one needs the feature richness of OSIS to produce nicely printed, feature-rich page of the Bible text. But those format issues and debate around it will continue in the future, and hopefully we will make some contribution to it when it comes to format conversion and tooling, so one can actually can produce results from the Bible texts which are encoded in the one format or in the other.